Right. It is. Okay, 2024, and we are on the Ultimate World Cruise, and we were in Provence, which is actually Toulon, France. And this is a shot of us coming into the port. It's a time lapse I took off of our balcony. And this is much different territory than where we've been the last couple of days in Cannes and Nice. This is more like small town France, country France, a much different vibe. So where we headed first was to Aix-en-Provence, which is the home of artist Paul Cézanne, who died in 1906. And so you're just going to have to come and take a walk with me to get the flavor for this place. It is a very walkable place, very relaxed. On a Sunday morning, we walked down the main street and there was a fair going on selling antiques. It was a perfect day, probably mid-70s, a little tiny bit of a breeze. So that's the end of the street, main street, looking back towards the main fountain at the square where we started. Then there's this odd fountain here, which supposedly had warm water coming from somewhere, growing stuff on it. I didn't really understand the purpose of it, but hey, there's something special about the water maybe. So here we have a bust of Paul Cézanne done by Renoir. So at this fountain. So two great artists combined into one. And then we came to this terrific open air market. Oh man. A Sunday morning walk through this open air market. They had so much good stuff, which we ended up buying a fair amount of. Bread, and cheese, and meat, and spices, and vegetables, and fruits galore. It was amazing. Of course, we had to buy several kinds of that fresh bread, some really good mild Parmesan cheese. There's a lady slicing bread the old-fashioned way. And packets of sachet lavender, vegetables. So we bought the bread, we brought cheese, we bought some strawberries that were really good. And then there was a guy selling jams and jellies and spreads. And we loaded up on those so we have something to put on the bread that we bought. And further on down, walking the streets of Aix-en-Provence, and we came to this other cathedral and square. You can tell just how relaxed everybody seems, so different compared to Nice and Ames, where we were the last time, where we were the last few days. Got more open air Sunday morning market stuff going on. And look at the knocker on this cathedral door here. That is one serious knocker. And then, of course, there was a call to Mass about 10 o'clock. So always fun to listen to the church bells. I'm not sure what year that church was built, but is old. And of course, we had to stop for a little hot chocolate and some orange juice at this open air cafe on one of the streets, just to give you a flavor for what a pleasant day it was. We've been pushing ourselves so hard on these port days and excursions. This is day 10 of 18 port days with no sea days. So it felt good to sit down and relax a little bit and not feel like we're on the Baton Death March. So our next stop after Aix-en-Provence was Cassis, it's pronounced. And there's a beautiful beach there. And this had nice white soft sand as compared to the rocks and gravel at Nice. And folks out there just enjoying themselves in the sun and the blue water and the blue sky. Looks like a postcard. Our guide told us town that specialized in a kind of cake that was made famous originally by Brigitte Bardot, the actress. It was a cake that was cut in half and then filled with this special cream on the inside. And of course, we had to go find that place and try some. But this is the harbor. You can see there's no big yachts in here. It just seemed like normal people living here, enjoying life. There's some small ferries right here that leave to go to various places up and down the coast. And all those colorful buildings in the background, and this also looks like a postcard. You can put the flowers on the railing up here. You're gonna see in a minute. Beautiful. There you go. So right around the corner, we're looking for this place. It's called La Tarte Tropézienne, and has the original recipe for that Brigitte Bardot cake. I don't think that's what they call it, but that's what I call it. You can't come to France and not go to one of these bakeries. You just can't do it. So here you go. All kinds of special stuff in the window there. You could drop a lot of cash in this place. Anyway, there it is. We got 2 slices of the original Brigitte Bardot cake, and they were drinking those with our Diet Coke. What a nutritious meal. I'm not Diet Coke, our Cherry Coke. What a nutritious meal. Oh, next stop is Le Castellet Village. Le Castellet Village, I don't know how to pronounce it. But anyway, this is a small village. Again, it must have been miserable living in medieval Europe. You're either building a castle or defending the castle or going to church and praying that you won't get attacked or building the church. Anyway, this is a really old little castle town where they could close the gate up and defend themselves. A medieval church. And the thing I liked about this medieval church up in the castle is that stained glass. I'll try and get a little closer so you can check out that beautiful stained glass. This is where the people came and prayed they wouldn't get attacked, or if they did get attacked, prayed they'd be victorious. Anyway, I feel sorry for those medieval folks. It must have been a real tough life. Look at that beautiful stained glass. Now, there's a vantage point on the edge of the castle here where you can see the French countryside. Reminds me of Tuscany in a way, only it's a little bit greener and a little bit more lush, a lot more grapes growing out there, vineyards galore. And there's a place out there in the distance where you can race. If you're into Formula racing, there's a track out there somewhere. We could actually hear the engines revving out in the distance. But what a beautiful day it was. And you know me, I just can't resist sticking my camera in a pond if there's fish in it, just because I can. So yeah, here's the fish in the local. Actually, it was a water supply that was coming out of the wall into these tanks that had fish in it. I guess if you drank the water before it got in the tanks, you're all right. And I just want to leave you with this beautiful purple bougainvillea. I love bougainvillea. Oleander and bougainvillea grow really well in this climate, and it's just beautiful. It's like eye candy. So I'll leave you with that. That's our day in Provence. And the next shot you're going to see is a time lapse of the ship leaving the harbor. And we are headed to Palma de Mallorca. So today was our last day in France. And tomorrow I'm gonna go diving in Palma de Mallorca. So hopefully I have some more dive video for you tomorrow. Anyway, stay tuned for Palma.